Okay, Tyler Perry, the prolific playwright, writer, director, studio head, has a show on Netflix called She the People that was, I believe it was written by, how do you say her name? Is it Vaughn? Yes, Terry J. Vaughn. It was written and developed by her. Word on the street, when I say word on the street, my mom said that Miss Terry J. Vaughn was shopping it around to other studios and whatnot, and they turned her down, but Tyler Perry said, sure, let's do this, and was able to get this onto Netflix. But according to blackenterprise.com, we now have a problem, Houston. She the People, the founder, sues Tyler Perry over She the People Netflix series. Well, what is She the People, you might ask? She the People is a nonprofit started by Amy Allison. It's been around, I don't know how long, but apparently it's been around a while. And she is suing them, basically saying, alleges the series infringes on the nonprofit's brand identity and the established goodwill of its political advocacy work. So what this nonprofit does is basically try to lift people up, women of color, black and brown people that are in these political positions, because they get shitted on so much. Okay. And so if you've seen this show, She the People by Miss Terry J. Vaughn and Tyler Perry, it is the plot of the story is a black woman in Mississippi runs for office and decides to run. She tries to run for governor, but decides to run for lieutenant governor, and she gets in, and hilarity ensues. You know, whatever that phrase is. And she gets in and has to deal with all of the white men in there that are being the stereotypical
white
angry white dudes and talking down to her and not necessarily respecting her, that kind of thing. And she's navigating through that, you know. But apparently Amy Allison had an issue with this. She went into this long post on social media and recorded a video and wrote it out. You can tell this is when PR gets involved. Some of us are blessed with ideas, she says, beautiful ones that carry meaning, shape culture, and create lasting value. Blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of platitudes in here. But then she goes on at the end and says, defend your creative work legally, publicly, proudly. Make sure people understand that your source of creativity. Make sure people understand the source of the creativity. Know the laws that protect your ideas and be ready to stand up when someone tries to take your work without attribution. Strong words there. And according to this long post, and I just cliff noted it there, she has battled with this previously with people using that phrase, she the people, you know, and she's trademarked this, you know. Apparently she previously tried to work on some type of documentary or series based on She the People, and it never went anywhere. But now Tyler Perry, this is out here on Netflix, and at the time it was ranking pretty high on Netflix. I can't say much on it myself. I gave it a shot. Okay. This is something for me. I saw the trailer. Didn't really think much of the trailer, but I said, okay, I want to try to support Tyler Perry because Tyler Perry gives a lot of black folks jobs in this entertainment industry, even those that aren't very good, especially in my opinion.
In the ATL area.
So I said, I'm going to give it a shot just because he's doing stuff for the community. You know, I turned it on. I watched, I think, 2 episodes of it. Not my cup of tea. And I think it's not my cup of tea because it feels like a play. instead of a series. You know, and I don't know if it feels like a play because of the way they act or if it's because of the way it's written. I'm leaning more towards A. You know, it was Terry Vaughn. She was in that one show with Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer. And she was extra up in that, you know. And there's a bit of that going on here in this thing. You know, and I don't think she needs to do that. I think
I've heard that myself.
I think what she's saying carries enough weight. You know what I mean? And you ain't been around much because you've been running around in circles.
I watch what I want to watch, and I did not want to watch that.
Really?
I saw the preview, and I wasn't interested at all from the preview at all, not a little bit.
Yeah.
But other stuff that Tyler Perry has done, I've absolutely tried to give it a chance, but that preview,
the trailer was not very good.
I didn't even want to give it a try.
Yeah.
Sisters, I wanted to give it a try, and I kept giving it a try because I love the writing.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry has some really good writing in that. But I could get a job right now if I went to audition for him. That's saying, and I am not a great actor yet. But that's what I see, you know. But he has really great writing, and I'm watching Beauty in the Black. I loved Beauty in the Black, also Tyler Perry. So but that,
I know you love that,
but he didn't write that.
No, that is, well, he co-wrote it because I had to look that up too, just to be sure. I looked it up too.
I still was just not interested. Maybe it's because it's political stuff. Maybe that's why I didn't care.
Yeah, he has attribution on all episodes, written by Tyler Perry right here, according to IMDb. He's also director. Miss Vaughn she developed it, but Perry looks like he wrote it according to IMDb. So, because I was curious about that too.
He wrote that.
That's what it says right here.
Okay.
8 episodes.
Like I said, if he did write it, if he didn't write it, if it's somebody else wrote it, that trailer, not interested at all. Zero. Maybe because it's political. And she's doing something I don't care unless it's, scandal.
Right.
That political was interesting and spicy and steamy.
Yeah, I couldn't.
But that just looked, maybe, and it could be because I remember her from the Steve Harvey show, from the Harvey. What is it?
I think it was called the Steve Harvey Show. I can't.
Was it?
I think so. I don't know.
When he was a teacher.
I didn't watch it that much.
He was Hightower though. His name was
him, Cedric the Entertainer.
But that's what makes me think it wasn't Harvey if he was Hightower. I don't know. Anyway,
matters not.
It does not matter. But I don't want to be that. If and when I ever make it, I don't want to be a type actor. I don't want to play one part so interestingly that when it's time for me to do other parts, that people are like, I can't see them in that. You know what I mean?
That's fair. No, there's some people that they're totally fine playing the role of the cop.
Even
that's what they do. And then there's other people that's like, nah, I want to show some range. So yeah, that's fair.
If somebody told me that my dude Denzel was starring in an all-time comedy of something, I'd be like, bullshit.
Yeah.
That ain't him.
It's not him.
It's not him.
He may still be capable of pulling it off, but his body of work says otherwise. You know.
Okay.
He may be talented enough to be able to pull it off. He may be talented enough because comedy, and comedians will tell you this,
but
it's not just getting up there and reading and saying the lines. It's the delivery, the cadence, and all of that stuff. And he may have the chops to be able to pull that off based on whatever writing is given to him. He may be able to. Not all. Possibly.
I would believe you if I had seen him do anything, even when he's being a minister or a, you know, what is the word? We get up in the morning and we want to have our inspiration, any of that. I would say yes. But all of that, everything that he gives us, the world, everything that he gives us is serious.
Yeah.
Everything, the plays, the writing, his interviews, social media, movies, plays, everything that Denzel Washington does is straight. Like, this is serious, bruh. This is life is serious. This is serious. That's serious. You might giggle here and there, but there's no giggling time. I would think that he would. I can't. I don't. I'm trying to think if I've seen him laugh because I can get a picture in my head, but no. I
wonder if he's ever been approached for a comedic movie or anything. I wonder if he's even been approached about that.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I just don't see it.
In the live chat, some good chatter in there. John says, so you mean to say we can't have movie titles that are used for organizations or company names? No, that's not that. And I tried to find the case, John, because I wanted to read it a little bit more because I have no life. What I got out of it was she didn't like the fact that this movie is the same name as her brand, and the way they're going about the delivery of this movie and the message of this movie, people are going to associate that with her brand and tarnish her brand.
Oh, so it's not even a good on her brand.
Right. So that's what I got out of it. I've been trying to find the case. A lot of times you can find these suits.
Do you think that she would have still been like, I need a piece of that. I need some of that.
That's the next question. Right. That's the next question. Then it comes into, okay, well, now you guys are making money off of my brand. All right. Where are my royalties? Mm-hmm. You know,
I think that's what it all
the
comes
business.
back to it.
You know,
and just start from that. Like, don't go into that brand stuff when at the bottom line is, I need that money because you using my shit. So where are my royalties? And then you can do whatever.
Yeah. I wish
that's what it boils down to.
I'm going to continue to look, and I'll probably find it because these lawsuits are public knowledge, and they're usually listed on certain government sites or whatever. And you can literally open them up and read the PDF word for word with all of the stupid legalese, mumbo jumbo in it and everything. But yeah, I wanted to share that because there's this notion in the Black community. I'm going to assume it's in the Latino or Hispanic or communities as well. But in the Black community, there's a notion of, hey, we need to try to support each other all at the same time while also cutting each other down. But there's this notion of we should try to support this person, this Black person, because they're doing some good things. And so said notion is the reason why I clicked OK on Netflix to watch episode 1. And a lot of times I get burned on those things.
I support him in other ways.
You know, and that's another way to do it. Yeah. There's other ways to do it.
When it's good.
Yeah.
Beauty in the Black, good.
Yeah. But you know, there's another thing about Tyler Perry is he has openly said, and I appreciate this about him. It's like, I'm not for everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because I swear, I said
I like
in our
his stuff, though.
I said in our family Slack that I didn't necessarily care for it because it came off like a play, and I guess black folks like plays because his popularity grew with all of his plays, not his movies. Right?
Yeah, but is that show number 1 or something?
It was like top 3. It was up there. I'm dead serious. It was like top 3.
Only because people started watching it. And
that happens.
Did they finish that shit? No. Well, we gonna take them ratings.
All that matters is right now.
Right.
They were in the top 3.
I know. Okay.
And I like I said, I never really cared for the plays and stuff like that. But then I later saw that he was like, you know what? I'm not for everybody. Everybody's not gonna like my stuff, and he just kept plugging away. You know, the whole Medea series. I saw. Which one did you make me watch? Mad Black Diary. What is it?
Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I watched that one.
That's the one that you. That's
couple
the one.
Times.
Yeah, that's the one that I watched with you, and I wouldn't have watched it any other time, and I haven't watched it since. And then we went to another one, and I started watching it with you. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm thinking, damn, this sounds just like this other play, that other movie, you know. Mm-hmm. And I got to the point of, if you've seen one Tyler Perry movie, you've seen all Tyler Perry movies. But
that's effing life. Life is everything. If you've seen this portion of life, you've seen that. Mm-hmm. Broke, busted, and disgusted. It's in somebody's life. Yeah. So, I mean, you just need to get the proper actors. But if he has this show with this kind of story, with this kind of outcome, it is what it is, because that is life. Life is so monotonous and atrocious.
Yeah.
We get up, we do the same thing to do the same thing so that we can do the same thing again tomorrow.
Fair.
That's how I feel about my life. And it could sound sad, and it might be, but I feel like I get up, if I open my eyes, I'm like, okay, God, you woke me up today. So here's my opportunity to go in here to do this thing, so that I can do this thing, so that I can go to bed, wake up, and do the same thing tomorrow, and have the same thing today that I had tomorrow. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm working tomorrow for the same thing that I had today. Mm-hmm. Lights, water, food. Mm-hmm. But nothing else. When have we been on a vacation? When do we get to go somewhere and experience some just R&R? Mm-hmm. We just going through the motions.
Mm-hmm. A bit of a, what do you call it, hamster wheel kind of thing. No, that's fair. That is life for most people. It is very monotonous. I choose to watch other stuff, though. And I'm glad that he's, been so prolific. And I'm glad that he owns his genre, if you will. But I feel like every play, or not every play, every Medea movie in particular, have all been just the same kind of art kind of thing. And this isn't Medea. Mm-hmm.
No.
This is not Medea. But yet his name is the writer on that credit, Mm-hmm. So he's clearly capable of writing other stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if, I don't know, there's a lot of questions here.